From this minifigure that wasn't even sold in stores, to this super rare Lego set of a real-life Lego store. These are 78 of the rarest Lego items you've probably never seen before. This limited edition Lego set, called the Lego System House, was exclusively made for the Lego Inside Tour in 2019. Only 80 of these sets were made, and since they were only available at the Inside Tour, it wasn't around for very long. It's a pretty small set depicting the Lego company building in Billund, Denmark, and funnily enough, this set has an insane secret. Usually, Lego bricks are made by melting plastic at extremely high temperatures and pouring it into molds, but one of the pieces in this set was actually made by a 3D printer. To be honest, if it wasn't for the internet, I'd have no idea that Lego ever even did something like this, but it almost seems like Lego didn't even want people to find out about it. On the inside, this set has 3 different rooms, one of which contains the secret 3D printed piece. This thing isn't even visible once the set's been fully built, so unless you built one of the 80 sets yourself, there's no way you know about it. I have to say, this is a pretty well kept Lego secret, but it's got nothing on some of the other ones in this video, so be sure to watch until the end. This is the Lego Wooden Duck set, and you won't believe what you had to do to be able to get your hands on one of these guys right here. Believe it or not, it was actually a limited edition Christmas gift that was only handed out to Lego employees back in 2016. But in case that isn't enough for you, there's still more to uncover here. Back before Lego was making bricks, they actually made wooden toys, and this Lego set is an exact replica of the classic Wooden Duck, one of Lego's earliest toys. This is a super nostalgic set that not a lot of people know about, but there's actually still one little secret left. Using the string that's attached to the body, you can wheel this set around wherever you want, and when you do, the bill actually moves up and down, making it look like the duck is quacking. Isn't that great? This secret is pretty good, but that isn't the only Lego secret that involves a duck. But this next one needs a bit of context. In a comic series by Stuart Moore, the superhero Deadpool and Howard the Duck got mixed together, and for some reason, Lego really liked how that looked and decided to create a minifigure out of it. This is the Deadpool Duck minifigure, and the only way you could have gotten it was if you attended the San Diego Comic-Con back in 2017. In case you didn't know, Lego absolutely loves hosting raffles at the San Diego Comic-Con. They've been doing it for years, and the items are usually only ever available through the raffle. As you can imagine, this causes them to garner a crazy price tag. The Deadpool Duck is worth around $1,500, and even though that's a super high number, it's actually on the low end for a lot of minifigures given away at Comic-Con. But believe it or not, there's an even more secret minifigure that's worth $1,000 less than this one. This is the Lego Batman Zurar minifigure, and even though it looks super sick, it's actually only worth $500. It was available at the San Diego Comic-Con back in 2014, so it's actually older than the Deadpool Duck. For some reason though, the price is way lower. That is, if it isn't in the original packaging. If you happen to have this minifigure in the blister pack it came in originally, the value jumps up $1,000. So if you have this thing laying around for whatever reason, I suggest you lock it up in a vault or something. Up next is a promotional piece for one of the biggest games in sports. This is the Lego Stanley Cup, and it's literally the Stanley Cup but branded in Lego. This thing is from all the way back in 2004, and the only way you could have gotten it was if you bought this, the Lego Championship Challenge set. In my opinion, this is one of the coolest Lego pieces I've ever seen, and I didn't even know it existed. For that reason alone, it more than qualifies to be on my list of secrets. So let's move on to the next item. Up next is a minifigure that was only available at the grand opening of the Lego store in London. The secret minifigure I'm talking about is this guy right here, named Lester. He truly embodies the spirit of British culture. With his bowler hat, umbrella, and distinctive Union Jack coat, he's got the whole package. But since he was such a well-kept secret, he's pretty hard to come by. I mean, you literally had to be at the store when it opened in London. Who could have ever known that? Up next is an item that's based on a literal space probe. This is the Lego Ulysses space probe set, and it was only available for Lego VIP members. This exclusive set was sold on the lego.com VIP rewards website on April 14th, 2021 at exactly 9 a.m. So many VIP members tried to get this set that the website started having multiple issues. But even through all of that, it's still sold out in under 15 minutes. Now, you might be wondering, why would a set of a space probe sell out so fast? Well, it's because this set is modeled after a real space probe. It was made by NASA and in 1990 set out on a journey to study the sun, which is actually pretty cool. For some reason though, Lego didn't want this thing to be available to everyone, so they made it for VIP members instead. I have to say, this is pretty disappointing. This is one that I would have liked to build for sure. Up next is an item that was given away at the 2023 San Diego Comic-Con, but this one wasn't in a raffle. This is the LEGO Masters gift set, and the only way you could have gotten it was if you beat the scavenger hunt that LEGO set up that year. The set isn't worth all that much, but it honestly looks super sick. It comes with 107 pieces, and once it's fully built, you literally own a set that was given to you by LEGO themselves. I think I need to buy a ticket for next year's Comic-Con in San Diego. It seems like there's always some secret LEGO stuff going on there. This next item isn't much of a secret, but that isn't why I put it on this list. This is the one of two 14 karat gold Boba Fett minifigure. And as I said before, this minifigure is no secret. So why am I including it in this video? Well, it's because no one actually knows where these minifigures are. There are two major LEGO Star Wars collectors in the LEGO community. The first one is RAREST LEGO Minifigures on Instagram, and the other one is LEGO Man Scotland on Instagram. It's speculated that one of these guys owns one of the two minifigures. So where's the other one? Well, the truth is, nobody really knows. The closest people came to finding it was when a kid on YouTube posted an unboxing of his one of two gold Boba Fett, but it turned out to be custom made. So the fact is, the whereabouts of these ultra rare minifigures is completely unknown, and whoever owns them is probably keeping it a secret on purpose. I mean, I can't say I blame them. These things are worth a ton of money. Anyways, let's move on from hyper rare minifigures and get back to a secret LEGO set. This is the LEGO Vesta Wind Turbine set. Now, officially, there are two versions of this set, one of which was released pretty recently, back in 2018. But that's not the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one from 2008 that was only given to some lucky Vesta employees. The set was actually pretty small, containing just over 800 pieces and only having 3 minifigures. But what LEGO didn't tell you was that they actually used mechanics from LEGO Power Functions in this set. Once you hook up all the wires and motors, the wind turbine actually spins on its own, and it lasts for hours. But since this set was released in 2018, the original got completely overshadowed, making it a little hard to know that it even existed in the first place. If you ask me, I'd say that makes it pretty secret. Up next is a set that was only on the shelves for a year before it was retired, the Black Pearl. The LEGO Black Pearl set is a highly detailed and sought-after set from the Pirates of the Caribbean theme. It was released in 2011, has 804 pieces, and includes 6 minifigures, 4 of which were only ever sold in this set. It was retired in September of 2012 after only 11 months of availability. So if you weren't paying attention, you were out of luck. These days, a sealed Black Pearl set can sell for over $1,000, with some listings reaching as high as $2,200. The set is super sought after among LEGO creators and enthusiasts, not only because of how limited it was, but also because of the rare minifigures and the fact that it's literally the Black Pearl. I mean, come on, we all want to go for a ride on that ship, am I right? Up next is a set from one of the best LEGO themes ever. This is the LEGO Ferrari F40 from the Creator Expert theme. In case you didn't know, Creator Experts contains some of the most challenging sets in all of LEGO, which means when they're fully built, they look incredible, and the Ferrari F40 is no exception. The set was released in 2015 and was only available for a limited time before it was retired from production. It contains 1,158 pieces and features numerous authentic details. This is just what you would expect from the Creator Experts line. And to be honest, the line itself is pretty secret all on its own. But since the Ferrari F40 is such a famous car, I had to let you guys know that there's a LEGO set for it. Up next is another super rare minifigure from the San Diego Comic-Con. This is the Green Arrow minifigure, and it's from all the way back in 2013. I don't know what it is, but it seems like LEGO really likes giving away minifigures from LEGO DC at Comic-Con. I mean, there are so many that I can hardly keep track. Anyways, the minifigure is decked out in a highly detailed outfit complete with his iconic bow. The intricate design and accurate representation of the Green Arrow character makes this minifigure a must-have for collectors looking to expand their superhero-themed LEGO sets. That's a pretty tall order though, because this guy usually sells for around $4,000. If you think this price is bad though, you're gonna hate the next one. This is the LEGO Black Suit Superman minifigure, and it was released at the same Comic-Con as Green Arrow. While this may be the case, Black Suit Superman is worth more than double what Green Arrow is worth. Yeah, this thing sells for upwards of $10,000. Only 200 of these minifigures were given to winners at the San Diego Comic-Con, but that price tag is still ridiculous. Up next is a LEGO set that's similar to the Vesta set from before. This is is the LEGO Tree of Creativity set from 2018. And even though it's retired now, it isn't rare at all. Loads of people bought this set when it was available, but what a lot of them didn't know was that this set had actually already been distributed, just not in the way you'd think it'd be. The year before it released in 2017, 175 of these sets were given out to attendees of the LEGO Inside Tour. But since it got released again in 2018, how would anyone know if you had an original one from 2017? Well, all 175 of the sets were actually numbered, and LEGO only does this with the exclusive sets from the Inside Tour, so it's really easy to tell. The sets from the tour have sold for over $3,000, while the ones from 2018 sell for about $100, which is a really big difference considering the sets are basically identical. Regardless, this is another one of those instances where LEGO was definitely trying to hide the original set from the world. Nice try, LEGO, but we got you. Up next is a super rare item from LEGO Bionicle. This is the LEGO Bionicle Mask of Creation, one of the most significant components of the entire Bionicle franchise. The LEGO Bionicle Mask of Creation is considered to be one of the rarest LEGO items in all of Bionicle, and it's for good reason. This mask was only ever featured in one set, the Mask Maker vs. Skull Grinder set. It was released back in 2015 and retired less than a year later, so you had barely any time to get one of these sets. I think it's safe to say that if you somehow missed this set, you probably never even knew this mask existed in real life. Up next is a set that was made in collaboration with the shipping company Maersk. This is the LEGO Line Container Ship from all the way back in 2010. It was part of the Advanced Model series, which makes it a lot rarer than you may think. The Advanced Model series was around from the year 2000 to 2014, but in those 14 years, only 31 sets were made for the entire series. Because of this, the series as a whole was kept pretty secret, which doesn't really make much sense to me. Regardless, the ship itself is pretty cool, and the fact that it's from such a secret LEGO theme makes it way cooler. Up next is a pair of Marvel minifigures that are probably worth more than your bank account. These are the LEGO Iron Man and Captain America minifigures. But this time, they aren't from Comic-Con. They're actually from the New York Toy Fair. These two guys were given away at the fair back in 2012, and even though they don't look like much, trust me, there's a big story here. Instead of being your regular Marvel minifigures, these guys are actually comic book versions, not like their counterparts from the movies. They've only ever been released at the 2012 New York Toy Fair, and because of this, they're worth right around $10,000. Now, even though these guys may be worth a lot, they fly under the radar of a lot of LEGO fans since they weren't from Comic-Con. Man, all this talk of expensive minifigures is getting me a little hopeful. I might have to check my own collection and see if I have anything that's actually worth something. Up next is another set from the LEGO Inside Tour, but this one is way more rare than the Tree of Creativity. This is the LEGO Old Kirks House set that was given to attendees of the 2009 LEGO Inside Tour. And believe it or not, only 32 copies were produced, making it one of the rarest LEGO sets ever. The set is a recreation of the real-life home of old Kurt Christensen, the original founder of LEGO. The set was later repackaged and reproduced for LEGO employees as a gift. However, the original old Kirks house remains highly valuable and sought after by collectors. One signed and numbered set recently went up for auction and is expected to sell for as much as $2,500. But I mean, this is no surprise to me though. We're literally talking about the founder of LEGO here. Last, but certainly not least on my list, is the Ultimate Collector Series Millennium Falcon. But I'm not talking about the one on the LEGO website right now. The one that I'm talking about is from all the way back in 2007. This absolute beast gets overshadowed by the new and improved one we have today, but we can't forget our roots. It's long been known as the most valuable LEGO set to date, and it shows. In one Las Vegas auction, a first edition in an airtight case sold for $15,000. So fortunately, it seems like not everyone has forgotten about it. First, let's take a look at a LEGO theme that's so old, you probably forgot all about it. These are the LEGO X-Men. Once upon a time, these superheroes were actually under their own theme, instead of just being under LEGO Marvel like they are today. When looking at all of the set's values, there's one that sticks out the most. It's Wolverine's Chopper Showdown set, but the reason it's so expensive is because there's actually a super rare minifigure that can only be found with this set. This is the LEGO Magneto minifigure, and its only appearance in LEGO history is in the Chopper Showdown set. This minifigure isn't worth a whole lot of money, but because it's only in a set that's been retired for over 10 years, it It makes it a pretty rare minifigure. Up next is a Lego set that can sell for as much as $5,000. This is the Cafe Corner Lego set, and for some reason, it's worth a brick ton of money. It was originally released in October of 2007 for $140 and didn't retire until December of 2009. So what makes it so valuable? Well, there are actually some pretty rare pieces in this set that can be pretty difficult to find anywhere else. Like this piece right here. It hadn't been used in years, and until the Cafe Corner set was released, LEGO probably didn't plan on using it again. Along with the rare pieces, this set was actually one of the first LEGO sets of that time period aimed for adults that wasn't from Star Wars or a large-scale sculpture. It was just a regular old cafe. Because of this, people started collecting it after 2009, and after all these years, it's made a pretty big name for itself. Up next is a LEGO item that's just as cool as it is rare. This is a solid gold 2x4 Lego brick, and yes, it's 100% real. This piece of literal treasure was given out to LEGO employees all the way back in 1979. There are a few key details that make this brick so rare though. For one, it was only given out from 1979 to 1981. For two, it was only given out to LEGO employees that had been working there for 25 years or more. And for three, it was only given out to employees at the Hohenwischstedt factory in Germany. It's like this brick was made to make people jealous or something. Because of how exclusive it is, the brick sells for around $15,000, making it one of the most expensive LEGO items in history. This thing is basically impossible to find, so if somehow you do end up coming across this one, I'd go ahead and get yourself a lottery ticket, because you might be the luckiest person on Earth. While we're on the topic of gold LEGO items, why don't we take a look at another gold LEGO piece? This is a 14 karat solid gold LEGO Kanohi How Bionicle mask, and believe it or not, this thing is literally 25 years old. Unlike the 2x4 brick from before, this item was actually part of a Bionicle sweepstakes back in 2001. Only 25 of these masks were ever given away during this competition, but LEGO has done a bunch of gold Bionicle mask giveaways over the years. Funnily enough, this mask actually just sold earlier this year, so it gives us a great idea of how much it's actually worth. It was sold at a live auction on the Goodwill website, and even though some sources say it sold for $33,000, that's actually not true. The person who bought the mask at that price never actually paid the money, so the mask was relisted where it then sold for over $18,000, making it the most expensive LEGO product ever sold. Even though that's an insane record to hold, that's not even the craziest part about all of this. Did you notice that I said it was sold by Goodwill? That means that this LEGO piece was donated by somebody. Who in their right mind would ever donate something like this? There's just no way. It had to be an accident. Up next is a LEGO set with a piece count that's literally higher than the Eiffel Tower. I'm talking about the Legends of Chima Battle for Chima set. With a piece count of 10,004, it has just 3 more pieces than the Eiffel Tower. But the Eiffel Tower set is made for people 18 and over, and the Battle of Chima set was made for people only 9 years old and up, which is insane if you really think about it. The piece count alone is enough to make people want to collect it, but the biggest reason this set is so sought after is because it never actually hit the shelves. This set was only given out to 2 people for a giveaway back in 2015. The 2 winners have never tried to sell this set, so there's no way to know how much it's worth. One thing's for sure though, this is by far the rarest LEGO set in existence. Up next is an item that's going to blow your mind. These are 3 minifigures, and believe me when I tell you, there's no way you can get your hands on any of them. These minifigures are part of a collaboration with NASA called the Bricks in Space Project, a program meant to teach and educate people on the wonders of space. LEGO had already sent some minifigures to space before, where they visited the International Space Station and even landed on Mars, but they had a special plan for these 3 minifigures. These guys were set to fly with NASA's Juno spacecraft and go all the way to the planet Jupiter. Since Jupiter is so far away, there was no way to get the spacecraft back to Earth in a timely manner, so instead, the craft was set to crash into the planet after flying around it for a year straight. In 2016, the craft reached its destination, and a year later, it crashed right into the planet, just as planned. So to sum it all up, I was right when I said that there's no way you can get any of these minifigures. Up next is an item that's so rare, I didn't even know it existed. This is the LEGO Dark Knight Trilogy Batpod set. It may not look like much, but believe me, it's rare. Like a lot of these ultra rare LEGO items, the Batpod could only be won through a giveaway, so it was never actually available for purchase. Only VIP members can enter the giveaway, and to enter, you had to buy something from the LEGO DC Heroes theme back in 2015. 2015. The sweepstakes were only around for the month of June, so once July 1st hit, your time was up. On top of that, this giveaway was only hosted in North America, so the rest of the world didn't even get a chance to win it. Only 750 units were ever made, and a good amount of them have been sold in the aftermarket. Prices can get as high as $3,000, which is definitely on the expensive side, even for LEGO. Since only 750 of these things were ever made, I'd say it's pretty rare. Up next is another gold item released by LEGO. Man, what is it with LEGO and gold? This is the gold chrome-plated C-3PO minifigure. Now, unlike his much more valuable brother, this minifigure isn't made of pure gold, but I figured we all probably already knew about the solid gold C-3PO, so I went with this one instead. This gold-plated C-3PO minifigure was released all the way back in 2007 to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Star Wars franchise. Only 10,000 of them were ever made, so because of its rarity, it came in some super cool packaging that congratulated the builder on finding the ultra-rare minifigure. But how could you actually have found one for yourself? Well, back in 2007, certain LEGO Star Wars sets were marked with this logo, and 10,000 of them had the gold-plated C-3PO. Prices for this guy range from around $2,000 to $4,000, so it definitely isn't cheap. Since there won't ever be a 30th anniversary for Star Wars again, this minifigure is never coming back, making it a pretty rare piece of LEGO Star Wars history. Up next is a LEGO set that hasn't seen the shelves in almost 30 years. This is the LEGO Dragon Knight Magic Shop set, and I wasn't kidding about how old it is. This LEGO set was released in 1993 and hasn't been back on the shelves since 1994. It was only around for a year, and since it's so old, not that many people have sold it on the aftermarket compared to some other sets. The most interesting part about this set is how much value it's accumulated over the years. Its retail price was $4.49, and now it's worth around $100. That's more than 22 times its original price. LEGO really has made a name for itself over the years. This next LEGO set was released around the same time as the Magic Shop set, but it's worth more than 10 times the price of it. This is the LEGO Castle Dark Forest Fortress set, and it resells for around $1,500. A big reason this set is so popular is because it's part of the castle theme, but there's actually another factor that makes this set even more expensive. There's a LEGO piece in this set that can only be found in this singular set. Well, I guess it isn't much of a piece. It's actually a giant 32 by 32 canyon plate. It's one of the only LEGO plates with raised terrain, giving it a 3D look. This 3D look is sought after by a lot of LEGO collectors, and since you can only get the piece from this one set, it makes it pretty rare. Up next is a LEGO set that completely changed the LEGO game when it was released. This is the LEGO Futuron Monreal Transport System set from 1987. It's no secret that people love buying vintage LEGO, whether it's because of a super old minifigure you can't get anywhere else, or a set from before you were born. People have all sorts of reasons for buying vintage LEGO. This set, though, is a cut above the rest, and let me show you why. Once all 731 pieces were put together, the set could actually be switched on, and the train would go around and around on the monorail. Since it was 1987, a motorized set like this was absolutely huge, and shocked LEGO fans everywhere. When you combine all of these factors, you end up with a resale price of around $2,500. Want to know something even crazier though? This set actually has a sibling from 1994, and it's just as cool as it is rare. This is the LEGO Unitron Monorail Transport base set, and it's actually worth more than the monorail set from 1987. It has 573 pieces, and just like the first one, once they're all built, you can hit the switch and put the train in motion. You might be asking, if this set was released 7 years after the first monorail set, why is it worth so much more? Well, unfortunately, there isn't an exact reason as to why this set is worth more. My best guess is that people weren't as excited for this one as they were for the first monorail set, so not as many got purchased, causing them to be more rare. As for what the set's actually worth, you can pick one up for around $3,000, assuming you have that type of money to spend on LEGO. Up next is the single most expensive minifigure that money can buy. This is the 2013 ComicCon exclusive SpiderMan minifigure, and it has a huge price on its head. For starters, it was only available at the 2013 San Diego Comic-Con, so not only did you have to go to Comic-Con back in 2013, but you had to go to the one in San Diego to even have a chance of getting this guy. If you think that's bad though, imagine you actually went all that way to get this minifigure just to find out that you had to win it in a raffle. That's right, it wasn't even for sale. What separates this Spider-Man minifigure from the rest is the fact that it has red lower legs. Almost every Spider-Man minifigure these days has blue legs instead of red, so it's pretty easy to tell this guy apart from the others. Oh, and as for the price, if you had any intention of collecting every Spider-Man minifigure, I'd go ahead and leave this guy out of it, because he costs almost $10,000. Up next is a LEGO set that everyone wishes they could have. It's the LEGO Christmas XWing set. Even though the price for it isn't anything too crazy, that doesn't mean it isn't rare. Obviously, LEGO hasn't ever released this set on the shelves, because if they did, everyone would know about it. This set was actually given out as a gift to LEGO employees back in December of 2019. It was made in celebration of the 20th year anniversary for Star Wars, and let's be honest here, this is the perfect present. Whether it's because of the Santa-themed Yoda or just the set in its entirety, this is one LEGO set that everyone wants. Last but certainly not least on my list is the Harry Potter CocaCola gift set. This is one of the strangest LEGO collabs in existence. What business does LEGO, Harry Potter, and Coca-Cola have teaming up to make a LEGO set? Well, whatever the reason, they made a pretty rare item. The set is one big box that actually has 5 different LEGO sets inside of it. The set was released back in 2002, and because it's so old, not many have been sold on the aftermarket. It's valued at around $475 these days, which compared to the retail price of some LEGO sets today, that actually isn't that bad. Regardless, this set is definitely not easy to find, making it a perfect addition to this list. At number 1, we have the double-decker couch from the LEGO movie. Now, we all love the LEGO movie, right? But how many of you actually knew that they made real-life sets from that movie? Well, in 2015, this set was brought to life. It was Emmett's greatest invention, the double-decker couch. This set has a total of 197 pieces, and even comes complete with 5 minifigures, including the whole LEGO movie gang: Unikitty, Benny the Spaceman, President Business, Petruvius, and of course, everyone's favorite little LEGO guy, Emmett. Save me a seat at the top. Our number 2 spot is actually an entire theme that's gone under the radar of a lot of LEGO fans today. This is the LEGO Spaceport theme, and the reason it's so low-key is because it was actually retired before the year 2000. Only 19 sets were ever released under this theme, which means they're a little difficult to get your hands on these days. Honestly, this is pretty unfortunate because look at how cool some of these sets are. Like the Mission Control set. It literally has an entire rocket you can build. Or the Lunar Rover set. The minifigure that comes with this one was definitely ahead of its time. I don't know. If you ask me, this theme deserves to make a comeback. LEGO, if you're watching this, make it happen. In the number 3 spot, we have Mr. Magorium's Wonder Emporium. In LEGO form, of course. I didn't even know this set existed before I started making this video, and I was really happy to find it. Mr. Magorium's Wonder Emporium was a perfect rainy day movie when I was a kid, so finding a LEGO set for it was pretty cool. Anyways, this set was released in 2007 and was retired in 2008, so it had a pretty decent shelf life, and with a retail price of $20, it was a pretty good bang for your buck. It had 323 pieces, and after everything was built, you'd end up with 6 completely different builds. I might be making a purchase after this. Up next, instead of an item, the 4th spot is actually held by a video game, but not a traditional one like LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. I'm talking about the LEGO Universe multiplayer online game. I never even played this game, so I'm learning just as much as you guys are here. It was released in 2010 by NetDevil and Warner Brothers Interactive. The game was set in a place called Wonderland, where players could interact with one another by doing missions and creating characters. It was shut down after 2 years in 2012, but before then, it amassed over 2.3 million players. Man, those are some crazy numbers for back then. So then wait, why did they decide to cease all operations? Even though the game was so popular, according to LEGO, it was shut down due to unsatisfactory revenue from the game's target audience. I guess at the end of the day, LEGO is still a business. Getting back to tangible items, I guarantee you guys have never seen this LEGO set before. This is the LEGO UNICEF van, released in 1985. The reason I'm so confident you guys have never seen it is because for one, it's old, like really old, almost 40 years old at this point. Sorry, Mom and Dad. But for two, this set was actually a promotional set for the United Nations Children's Fund, or UNICEF. And the only way you could get it was via LEGO Club in Canada. To be honest, I don't even know what the LEGO Club in Canada is. Regardless, the UNICEF truck is still one of the coolest LEGO sets I've ever seen. Up next on my list is the first LEGO set ever released, making it one of the rarest and most forgotten sets of all time. This is the LEGO Garage Plate and Door from the year 1955. That's a pretty funny name for a LEGO set. It only came with 5 pieces, which were all available in either red or white. Since this was literally the first set LEGO ever distributed, it could only be purchased purchased in Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. You'd think this is enough to make it super rare, right? Well, you're wrong. Because in 1956, just 1 year after the set was first made, LEGO completely stopped production of the base plate for the garage. It seems like they really wanted to keep this thing rare. In the number 7 spot, we have this promotional Target gift card from 2010. This neat little contraption contained 31 pieces and a gift card valid at any LEGO store. When the 31 pieces were put together, you'd end up with Target's dog, Bullseye. This is honestly a really cool collaboration that I wish I knew about back in the day. Do any of you guys remember Julius the monkey? Well, he was actually made into a minifigure and released as a keychain all the way back in 2006. LEGO has released a bunch of keychains over the years, from a gold minifigure to even Miles Morales. They've become one of LEGO's most popular accessories. The Julius keychain was retired shortly after its release, so unfortunately it looks like he got lost in the sauce, just like the garage door. Okay, so we all know how much LEGO loves giving out exclusive items at Comic-Con, and this next item is no stranger to that. This is the commemorative limited edition Batman announcement box, of which only 250 were available at the 2005 Comic-Con. The box contains a LEGO Batman and Joker minifigure, along with a gun for the Joker and a rope for Batman to swing on. This item is so rare that a sealed version is worth over $5,000. Goodness, and I thought retail LEGO items were too expensive. Coming in at number 10, we have this super rare Boston Red Sox minifigure. This was by far one of the hardest minifigures to obtain when they were being distributed. You had to be at exactly the right place at exactly the right time. That place was Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts, and the time was August 19th, 1999. That's right, this minifig was only ever given out one time in the entire history of LEGO, and it was at a baseball game. While we're on the topic of baseball, LEGO also released this set that looks like a player on the San Francisco Giants. It was released in 2015 and was retired later that year. This was another extremely exclusive set though. For this one, you had to be at AT&T Park on September 12th, 2015, which was labeled the LEGO Day game. Who knew LEGO liked baseball so much? Up next at number 11, we have the LEGO Minotaurus board game. This is a LEGO set that actually had a purpose as opposed to decoration. The set comes with 211 pieces, and after they've all been put together, you end up with a fully playable board game. Pretty cool, right? The point of the game was to get 2 of your 3 heroes to their designated section in the middle of the board, all while trying to avoid the Minotaur. This set always reminded me of Percy Jackson, so I really enjoyed playing the game. This next LEGO item is sure to connect with your inner child. This is the LEGO Bob the Builder Dublo theme. Starting in 2001, this theme actually lasted a pretty long time, all the way up until 2009. Bob the Builder was one of the most popular shows among kids at the time, so I can imagine that the sets were selling very well in stores. Even though the theme spanned over 8 years, only 25 sets released the entire time the theme was active. I guess Bob just can't fix everything. Coming in at number 13 is the LEGO Football Grand Soccer Stadium. This set was released in 2006, and just like the Minotaurus board game, it's multi-purpose. After putting together the 386 pieces, you get your very own LEGO soccer stadium, equipped with 14 minifigures. Not only does this set look super cool, but it doubles as a tabletop soccer game you can play at any time. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely wouldn't say no to that. It seems like I'm not alone though. Since its release almost 20 years ago, the value has gone up over 300%, now sitting at around $350. Man, these prices are relentless. Nostalgia costs way too much. Moving on from that, at number 14, we have this super old LEGO Galaxy Explorer set, all the way back from 1979. This set is exactly what it sounds like. Just a cool little spaceship with some astronauts ready to take on space. Hey look, there's me. Funnily enough, this set also has an insane resale value. It seems like it may have been very popular back in the day, and that popularity might transfer into today's world too. In 2022, this set got fully remastered and was thrown on the shelves for $100 a pop. Since this set is a rerun of a classic, I'd imagine it'd do pretty well with the older crowd of LEGO fans. Moving on to the next item, we have the Year of the Ox exclusive set sitting at number 15. This set was released during the Year of the Ox, which, if we check our Chinese calendars, the last time this happened was in 2021. The set is made up of 168 pieces and is a great way to honor the Chinese New Year. The cool thing about this set is that it was actually free in LEGO stores. Funnily enough though, not that many people know about it, which is weird considering how available it was during its time on the market. Up next is the LEGO Iron Man 40535. This set is a part of a theme that LEGO introduced very recently. It's called the Brick Sketches theme, and the idea of the theme is to recreate iconic characters as stylized portraits. The theme was launched in 2020, and since then, Iron Man has been the only set under the theme. It's about to be 2024, so it seems to me that this set and theme overall are definitely going to end up being forgotten as time goes on. Remember that Spider-Man minifigure I was talking about before? Well, I actually have a lot more information on him now. According to multiple LEGO websites, the minifigure was part of a set called the Wrestling Scene, which was set to be released in 2002. The thing is, nobody has any information about the set other than that. Bricklink is one of those websites, and they're known for being as thorough as possible with everything LEGO. But even their page on the set has question marks all over it. Then on another site called Brick Economy, you can track how many of anything LEGO have sold over the years online, and since 2004, the Spider-Man minifigure has only been sold 26 times. I think it's safe to say that this is by far one of the rarest minifigures of all time. The next item at number 18 is the LEGO Police Officer Primo. In the words of LEGO themselves, this minifigure is quite literally the one that started it all. My question to you, LEGO, is if that's the case, why have I never seen him in a single one of my LEGO sets? Officer Primo has been around since 1978, and somehow I don't own a single version of him. It's a little unfair if you ask me. Anyway, enough of me being sorry for myself. The next item on my list, coming in at number 19, is the LEGO Town Ice Cream Cellar. This is a tiny little set from 1997. That's exactly as the name says. It's just a woman selling some ice cream. The set contains 27 pieces and a minifigure who's primed and ready to scoop some ice cream. Seeing as the set wasn't extremely popular when it came out, there hasn't been much of any talk about it in the LEGO world since. Up next at number 20 is the LEGO Alex set from the Brickheads theme. Alex is also part of the Minecraft theme, so you'd think this set would be pretty popular, but that's definitely not the case. The set was released in April of this year, and as of a month ago, it's already been put into retirement. That's an insanely short amount of shelf time for a LEGO set, but I think I know the reason. In my opinion, Brickheads is one of the weirdest looking LEGO themes of all time. So to me, it's no surprise that it didn't do so well. It might be time to call it quits with the Brickheads theme, LEGO. The next item at number 21 is this LEGO Wild Windup set. Despite every other item on this list being unique in their own way, this one is by far the coolest. This set is part of the Creator theme, which is a theme that was made for the people. It's very similar to the LEGO Ideas theme, except with this one, there are designated builders who make sets for this theme only. It's been on a hiatus for a little bit, but it's now under the name LEGO for Adults. Anyways, getting back to the set, it can be assembled in multiple different ways. My personal favorite is the one that looks like a blender, although I'm not sure if it can actually be used as one. Nonetheless, it still looks pretty cool. The next item on the list is the LEGO Surveillance Scooter. This set was released in 1995 and only has 23 pieces to its name. Fun fact about this set, it didn't even come in a box. LEGO decided to put it in a poly bag because there were so little pieces. There isn't anything too special about this set, but any LEGO fan can appreciate vintage LEGO. And finally, the 23rd LEGO item on this list is the LEGO Care Center from 1987. This set has that vintage LEGO look that you just can't get from anywhere else. It's so simple, and yet at the same time, there's so much going on. The set contains 308 pieces and 5 minifigures, making for a perfect little LEGO hospital. Funnily enough, this set has gone way up in value since the 80s. As of today, it would cost you about $550 to get one of these sets in your hands. Talk about price gouging. Did you know that LEGO has actually been making cars since the 1980s? This is the LEGO Windup Car, and you don't even need an engine to make it move. Most mobile LEGO cars use one of these LEGO Technic engines, but this thing is powered by the user. It winds up just like those really old toys from back in the day. It comes with 10 pieces, and once it's fully assembled, it functions just like any other wind-up toy. This is definitely a LEGO item that you don't usually see, but it's got nothing on some of these other ones. Up next is a LEGO product that's a perfect fit for back-to-school commercials. These are LEGO pens, and yes, they actually work. With 10 different colors to choose from, they're perfect for any artists who love LEGO just as much as they do drawing. The best part about them though is that they're actually pretty cheap. We all know how expensive LEGO can get nowadays, so the fact that these pens are only $30 is pretty awesome. Oh, and another cool part about these pens is that the top has real LEGO studs, so if you wanted to, you could add bricks onto them or anything else to make them fit your personality. Moving on from that though, up next is this insane LEGO deck of cards. This product actually comes with 2 2 fully stacked decks of cards. Normally, a deck of cards only has 52, but both of these decks actually have 54 cards because of the 2 jokers. Some cool details with this item is that for the Jack, Queen, and King, instead of there being regular faces like there are for a normal deck of cards, these LEGO cards have minifigures from the castle theme on there instead. The backs of these cards also look super sick with the LEGO pattern on the back. If you're in need of any playing cards for your next game night, these are perfect for you. Do you guys have night vision? Since the answer to that question is probably no, I have the perfect solution for you. This is the LEGO flashlight, and it's fully functional, just like the one your dad keeps in the basement. But trust me, it's way cooler than your dad's. For one, the handle of this flashlight is a bigger version of the hilt used for LEGO lightsabers. And for two, this one comes with a cover that looks just like a LEGO stud. I don't know, if you ask me, this flashlight is probably the coolest one money can buy. Up next is a LEGO item you might want to tell your parents about. These are the LEGO salt and pepper shakers, and they belong right on your kitchen table. They're perfect if you ever need any salt or pepper on some food you're making, or if you just want to have them as a backup. Now, me personally, I never use any LEGO product as a backup, but that's just me. Regardless, this $7 item is super cool and a really unique LEGO item that probably isn't very widely known. Up next is a LEGO item that's perfect for any coffee or hot chocolate lovers. This is a LEGO mug, and it's literally just an upscaled version of the classic LEGO mug you see in some LEGO sets. To be honest though, if you compare it to a regular mug, this thing looks really weird. Since this mug is meant to be held by minifigures, the handle is literally just a bar instead of your typical circular shape sticking out of the side. Now, I've never held a mug like this, so it might actually be a lot better. I'm not sure though. I might just have to pick one of these up and see for myself. Up next is a LEGO item that you can actually wear. These are the LEGO Levi's jeans, one of the biggest LEGO collabs of all time. Levi's has been around for over 150 years, so for LEGO to release a product with them is pretty insane. Something really cool about these jeans is the branding. Usually a pair of Levi's pants has a patch that looks like this, but the LEGO version has a patch that looks like this. Along with that, the pants also have LEGO inspired buttons instead of your regular metal ones. These pants have tons of cool details, but it's time to move on to the next item. Up next is a LEGO item that would have been really useful 15 years ago. This is the LEGO calendar, and the only problem here is that it was made for the year 2011. If you didn't know, where dates and days line up changes every year, so this calendar won't be good for a very, very long time. Nonetheless, the item is still pretty cool. I've never heard of anybody having a LEGO calendar, and what better way to keep track of the days than with some bricks. Up next are some minifigures that came and went super fast. These are the LEGO Looney Tunes minifigures, and believe it or not, these guys got put on the shelves just 3 years ago in 2021. Since then, everything has been retired, but what's interesting here is the fact that LEGO never actually made a set for the Looney Tunes theme. Minifigures were the only thing you could ever buy, and they came in these little packs called blind bags. Inside these, you could buy each minifigure separately, but you never actually knew which one you were going to get. This was pretty weird for LEGO to do, especially since Looney Tunes is such a big franchise. But regardless, the minifigures are really cool, and would make for some really good decoration in your LEGO room. Up next is an item that's not only a super sick decoration, but it's pretty practical too. These are the LEGO hangers, and they have a lot of different uses. They come in packs of 3, and there are a bunch of different colors to choose from. Each set has 3 different sizes. The smallest one is 1 inch across, the second size is 2 inches across, and the biggest size is 3 inches across. I know that sounds pretty small, but they're actually really versatile. You can hang anything from headphones to a towel, and maybe even clothes if you need to. I'm definitely picking up a pack of these soon. LEGO studs on the wall is a dream come true. Up next is the perfect replacement for those boring brown lunch bags. This is the LEGO lunchbox. This thing is sick. It looks exactly like a real LEGO brick, but way bigger than a normal one. It's also meant to be used by anybody. Whether you're in kindergarten or high school, you won't have a problem opening and closing this lunchbox. Along with this blue color, there's also a red color if any of you guys were looking for that classic LEGO look. But what if you go to eat lunch from your new LEGO lunchbox and end up getting really thirsty? Well, I have the perfect solution. These are the LEGO water bottles, and when it's together with the lunchbox, it's a match made in heaven. The water bottle has a few more options than the lunchbox. There's blue, red, lilac, and even a multicolor variant with the LEGO pattern printed on the outside. Unfortunately, there's no yellow, so if that's your favorite color, you're out of luck. But maybe LEGO will release every color soon enough, and we'll all get to stay hydrated with our favorite toy company. Wait a minute though. We have a lunchbox and a water bottle, but we don't have anything to carry them with. Is what I would say if it weren't for these awesome Lego backpacks, and there are way more options to choose from when compared to the lunchbox and water bottles. There are 1-stud backpacks, 2-stud backpacks, a minifigure patch backpack, and there's even a backpack dedicated to Lego Ninjago. There are also a couple crossbody bags if that's more your style, and one of them has a bunch of retro Lego logos all over it. That's definitely the coolest one here. Whatever your style is, there's something here for you. Unless of course you don't want a Lego backpack, but who would ever say that? Up next is the perfect storage bin for anything Lego related. This is the Lego desk drawer, and it was literally made to store Lego bricks. Even if you don't want to use it for that though, it's okay, because there's a cool detail about these desk drawers that separates them from the rest. Along with that 8-stud drawer from before, Lego also made 4-stud desk drawers if you want to save a little space. And this is where that really cool detail comes into play. You can stack the drawers just like normal Lego bricks, so if you want to make actual desk drawers, you can. This is a really useful advantage that these Lego drawers have over every other type of desk drawer. Honestly, even if I wasn't a Lego fan, I'd consider getting these. They're really useful. Up next is one of the coolest minifigures ever made. This is the wooden minifigure, and every single one of them is handcrafted from real oak wood. So not only are these made by real people, but they start out as a block of wood, then get carved into this. Oh yeah, did I mention that this thing is also giant? It's 5 times bigger than your average minifigure, standing at 7 inches tall. Whenever Lego makes a product like this, they always give it a lot of character, and they definitely didn't disappoint with this one. Inside the premium packaging, this guy comes with a 28-page booklet that explains the entire history of Lego minifigures and how the wooden one was developed and brought to life. The minifigure also comes with 29 pieces, which can be assembled in 6 different ways, all of which are meant to be held by the minifigure. I think it's safe to say that this guy is easily in the Minifigure Hall of Fame. While we're on the topic of giant minifigures, I present to you the upscaled minifigure set, and it's even bigger than the giant wooden one. This massive minifigure stands at 10 inches tall, but it doesn't start out that way. The set comes with 654 pieces and costs around $50. There isn't much to this set, other than the fact that it's a giant minifigure, but a cool detail about it is that once it's fully assembled, there's actually a control station underneath the hat on top of its head, with a seat made for a regular sized minifigure. It's a really funny detail that proves Lego still has a funny side to them. Hopefully they never lose that. What's a giant minifigure though without a giant spaceship to go along with it? This is a fan-made Lego X-Wing, and it's absolutely massive. Now that I'm really looking at it, there's no way that giant minifigure is big enough for this ship. Back in 2013, this giant X-Wing was built at the Lego model shop in the Czech Republic. With over 5.3 million bricks, this ship weighs 23 tons. That's 46,000 pounds. Now you might be asking yourself, how does a Lego build this massive even get moved anywhere? Well, they actually had to disassemble it down to 34 pieces and ship it by boat. This process alone took months, but it eventually reached its destination of Legoland in California. Up next, I want to introduce you to the work of Nathan Sawaya, one of the best brick artists the world has ever seen. He's most well known for making human-shaped builds with some very interesting details, but he makes loads of other stuff too. His work has become so famous that it's on display at museums across the entire world. You can find his work in London, Melbourne, Philadelphia, Paris, and Miami. If you can't make it to any of those places though, there are loads of articles and YouTube videos about him that talk all about what he's done. And he even has an Instagram where he posts new stuff every once in a while. I don't know how this guy's brain works, but it's obvious that it was meant for Lego. Up next is one of the craziest Lego roller coasters to ever exist. This is the Phoenix, made by Matt Childs, and it's one of the biggest Lego roller coasters on record. Childs originally made the roller coaster back in 2002, and it took him 2 whole years to build. Since then, he's been upgrading it, and has been able to speed up the process by a lot. It's fully motorized, so you don't have to manually move the coaster to make it go. All you have to do is flip a switch. The cart will go up all on its own because of the motors Childs used in the build, but once it needs to go down, gravity takes care of the rest. These motors are super old though. It's a 9-volt train controller from the 1990s, so that's how you know this thing is old. Just because it's old though definitely doesn't mean it's bad, because this is still one of the most well-built Lego roller coasters of all time. Last but certainly not least on my list, we have the Lego Mask and Hands Kit for adults. Have you ever wanted to become a minifigure? Well, now you can. This 3-piece kit comes with 2 Lego hands and a minifigure mask that completely covers your face. Unfortunately, there's no stud on the top of your head, so you won't be able to attach any hair or hats. But from the front, you'll look just like a minifigure, assuming everyone who's looking at you ignores your body. If not, then you're probably out of luck. What was your favorite item in this video? Be sure to let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.